My name is Sandra Borger. I'm the Visitor Experience Manager here at Fort Langley National Historic Site. We are one of 171 Parks Canada administered sites throughout Canada. And here we're really all about telling stories and sharing Canada's diverse history with visitors. So Fort Langley National Historic Site really lets our visitors connect with Canada's diverse history and with nature. We are all about telling the story of Canada and telling all of the diverse perspectives of that history. We also have really close working relationship with Kwantlen First Nation and with Métis Nation BC, and we take a lot of pride in being able to have them be on site telling their stories from their perspective. We're all about building a legacy for the future, and so staff and volunteers are really instrumental in creating that legacy. We want to create dialogue between our visitors and our site staff and our volunteers, and we really want to build connections to the site and to Canada's bigger, diverse story. On site, we really want to make sure that people who come feel like they're part of the narrative here and are reflected in the site. We have all different kinds of volunteer opportunities. It really depends on what kind of person you are and what you're interested in. So for example, you can work with my team, the Visitor Experience team. You could be out in full historic costume, working in one of the heritage buildings to interpret the site and talk about the site's history and engage with volunteers. You could be working with the collections team, doing research in our archival library. We also have people who work with our marketing and promotions, taking lots of photos and helping with social media. We have the visitor center where you can be greeting visitors and welcoming them onto the site. So really there's something for everybody. And one of the great things is that no matter where you decide you want to volunteer, you're going to be able to build skills here and learn new things.
One of my first and favorite activities at Fort Langley is being an interpreter. As an interpreter, you have this amazing opportunity to dress up in area-specific clothing and be able to talk to others, visitors, meet them, tell them a little bit more about the experience of Fort Langley, and interact with very, very unique objects like this fur I have in front of me.
Welcome to the Blacksmith. This is an opportunity where you can come and volunteer at Fort Langley. They'll put you through a couple training sessions, and if this is an interest of yours, they'll happily let you do it.
Sure, so if we had to walk through a day as a volunteer, let's take a visitor experience volunteer as an example, because that's part of my team, what I'm familiar with. So you would come to Fort Langley National Historic Site, you'd walk through the visitor center and be greeted by our staff there and welcomed. Then you would go and change into your historic costume that one of our staff had helped you pick out. And then you would go onto the grounds and you would talk with visitors. You would have lots of training by this point, so you would know a lot about the site's history, what kind of questions to ask visitors to get them to engage with you and be part of that dialogue that I was mentioning before. We really want to inspire visitors to share what they've learned here with other people. And so perhaps you are really into woodworking. Maybe you're volunteering at the cooperage where they used to make the barrels for shipping things like salmon and cranberries. So you'd be in there in the coop, practicing on the wooden lathe and talking with visitors as they come in.
opportunities here is tending to the local garden. This food that they grow here provides nourishment for the volunteers. They cook and have barbecues. It feeds the animals that you can hear in the background. And it's something that sometimes you get to take home.
Another volunteering opportunity is welcoming the new visitors and then sharing with them what they're going to see and what they're going to learn inside.
So if you're interested in volunteering, you send us an email, and what we do is there's a bit of a process. We would have you fill out an application and kind of find out through an interview what you're most interested in. There is a criminal record check that we do, and then we would place you with whichever department and team you were the best fit with and what you wanted to do.
Yeah, so we're just a quick canoe trip up the Fraser River. We're at the Fort Langley Historic Site. It's a great opportunity for us to volunteer today. Vlad, what do you think?
Oh, honestly, today was a fabulous day. I think we got to see amazing opportunities for people to volunteer. Everything from blacksmithing, to cooking food, to playing and helping out animals, and to even giving tours to people. Fantastic opportunity. What about you, Mark?
Well, I never know that there's such a place like this here, and I'm enjoying a lot with my co-workers, seeing all the different areas that you can come and volunteer and have some fun.